Hey guys, it's me, Tamkin, and I'm making this video because I feel like I really just had to. It's come to a point, I think, in my last almost decade of just, small time investing, dabbling in real estate, and making the strides that I have. It's gotten to a point where I have a lot of friends that ask me a lot of questions, and I love to help you guys. You guys are really important to me, but it's gotten to the point where I find myself just like repeating myself over and over and over to each friend separately. And it's honestly exhausting. It has nothing to do with how much I love you guys, because I do. But the reason I'm going to create this whole ass channel for you is because I am sick and tired of repeating myself. And it's just like, it's exhausting, because for those of you who know me, you know that I am a full-time aerospace professional, okay? I am also a full-time real estate investor and developer, which means I do construction myself. I mean, I'm not a pro, but I mean, I do it with my husband. And I do a little bit of diversification for my investments, which is like stocks and index funds and whatnot. And all of this I'm doing. How am I doing this? I am putting my own money in all of this. Like, I don't know how else to tell you guys. Like, I just save all my money. I live like a broke ass. And I do this because I think someday I'm going to be financially free. And as of right now, I'm not. So this whole channel is going to be dedicated to my Brown Girl Fire story. And I'm going to give you all of my things that I'm going through, my vlog, as well as all the recommendations I have for you as someone who's not a financial advisor and as someone who's just your friend. So for this specific video, I just wanted to talk about the beginning, the very, very beginning. I am not even going to play like I was born with all this knowledge, because I was not. I'm not even going to play like I was driven to be financially free, because I was not. When I was 26, 27 years old, I met Marcus, who is now my husband. And before he married me, he asked me to read these books. And these books were kind of like step one for the changes that were going to come for the rest of our lives together. And these are the same books that I'm going to recommend to you. If you're just getting started, you hit me up on the IG, you texted me, you're asking me because you're curious about real estate investing and whatnot. Like, before you even talk to me, I want to know that you've read all of these books, because I just feel like with all the shit that is on my plate, you guys have no idea what it takes to flip a house, okay? It's fucking hard. So with everything on my plate while working full time and going through all the things I'm going through and running a YouTube channel, my Tamkin Spice channel, which is successful. Thank you guys for liking and subscribing and shit. But doing all of that and becoming your free mentor is not really I'm not vibing with my financial freedom at this point. So what I would like you to do is, step one, here are my book recommendations for what you need to read before you decide that you want to be a real estate investor, to be honest. Because if you don't have the foundation or the way of thinking, I don't know. I just feel like it's going to set you up to be more successful if you read these books. So book number one, bread and butter book, okay? Rich Dad, Poor Dad. You need to read it. If you haven't read it, just read it. I remember I read that book when I was in the middle of getting my master's, and I was like, why am I wasting $40,000 getting a master's right now when I could buy another investment property, 2 investment properties, maybe 3 in some places. So it's one of those things where if you read the book, it's going to change the way you think about your assets and your liabilities. There's good debt, there's bad debt. There's stupid moves, there's good moves. So that's my dog. Okay, look, so that's number one. Number 2, you got to read The Alchemist. The Alchemist is more about following your personal legend. It's about listening to that voice in your head that is telling you that you are meant to do more on this planet than to sit around and shop on Amazon and go for brunch on the weekends and buy more and more outfits. Like, there's more to life than that. than living for the weekend, taking a trip on your credit card. Like, come on, man. Read The Alchemist. It'll kind of teach you lessons of this guy who's following his own personal legend. And it's more of a story, but there's a lot of lessons to be learned there. Book number 3, you need to read The Richest Man in Babylon. It's interesting. It's written in a really weird way. I think it's actually really old, but it actually has different chapters on how to conquer debt, how to free yourself from the financial chains, how to save, how to invest, like all of these things told also in stories. So I think you should definitely read The Richest Man in Babylon. So those were the 3 that Marcus had me read before we got married, but these are some that I read that were really helpful once we actually got started. And so book number 1 that I would recommend to you guys is called Tax-Free Wealth. And that's by Tom Wheelwright. There are other books called Tax-Free Wealth, but make sure you get the one. By the way, all the links are going to be in the description, so just click them. That one, the purple one by Tom Wheelwright, is the one I read, and it really changed the way I thought about taxes. And I think it's important because once you get into a certain tax bracket, you know, when Uncle Sam starts taking like half your money every year, you need to start getting into the mindset that the money that you're working so hard to make, you need to protect. So Tax-Free Wealth talks about your personal taxes, but it also talks about real estate investors and the way that they can work with the current tax law to be able to find the law that supports them and, you know, take advantage of all the incentives that currently exist within the tax law. There's no illegal weird shit going on here. It's just more of like, know the law so that you can use it. Okay. So that's number 1. Not number 1, sorry, whichever number that was, number 4. Number 5, I just finished reading this recently and it like, it hit me. It is called Playing with Fire. And you're just going to have to read it. It's one of those audibles, like Get Audible, because the story is just so good. And it just brought everything home for me and motivated me to continue investing as aggressively as I have, because sometimes, you know, you really start doubting yourself, and I start doubting myself for sure. Every day I'm like, wow, like I work so hard. Like, you know, Marcus and I are doing okay. Like earned income wise, like if we just spent all our money and we didn't invest as aggressively as we are now, like we could probably just live an amazing life. We could probably just fly somewhere new every other month, fly first class all the time. You know, I could have all the Gucci bags I wanted. I could do that. I could, but I'm not going to, because when you read Playing with Fire, you'll realize that because when you choose to sacrifice now and suffer now, you could potentially be okay forever. And as you're sacrificing now, it teaches you how to make sacrifices so that you're focusing more on spending the money that you have on the things that actually make you happy, not the things that like you think are going to make you happy. Last book I haven't read yet, but it's on my list, is called Your Money or Your Life, by Vicki Robinson, I believe. So I'm going to read that pretty soon, and I'll keep you guys posted on what I think of it. But yeah, that's my book list. Next video will come soon, and I will continue making videos for you guys. But don't fuck with me. Don't waste my time. Read these books first, and then watch my next video. And then watch all my videos before you bother me. Okay. All right. I'll talk to you later. Bye.